Hi, welcome to Pleasure Sports. Today we're going to take a look at the Bare Velocity 5.4mm and 7.6mm. So this particular wetsuit comes in two thicknesses. You're looking at the 5.4mm thickness, and the identical suit is also made in a 7mm and a 6mm combination. So let's take a look at the 5.4. The 5.4 and the 7.6 are actually identical in construction. So what we're looking at here is what Bare has done they have put the 5mm neoprene in the core of the wetsuit. That would be the chest all the way down in the legs, and that'll keep your core nice and warm. And they've gone ahead and integrated a little bit thinner neoprene, a 4mm neoprene, in the upper arms, along these light patches, and a little bit behind the leg. And what that does is it actually helps you be more comfortable in the wetsuit and have more stretchiness in the parts of your body that generate heat naturally, because they're the ones moving, and that's mostly your arms and a little bit of the lower leg. If you're using the suit for diving, your legs will be moving this way. A couple of things I want to draw your attention to that are special about this wetsuit. The seam is a glued and blind stitch seam. So the neoprene was first glued together and then blind stitched. A blind stitch is a stitch that doesn't go all the way through the neoprene, so it doesn't create pinholes in the wetsuit. So it's considered a sealed seam wetsuit, and it's a nice durable seam. The other thing I want to show you about this particular wetsuit is what Bare actually calls Duraflex material, and that's this material that's on the knees. That actually protects the nylon here, so you have a plastic but very flexible material that you can actually kneel on it that won't rip up the nylon on the wetsuit, and so that'll help your wetsuit last longer. The other thing on this wetsuit is you've got lower leg zippers. This helps you get in and out of the wetsuit a lot easier, and how it does that is you just go ahead and zip it up, and it makes the opening a lot bigger so your foot can go in there with less struggle. And then you just zip it up, zip it down. Before I zip it down, I want to show you here that they put a nice piece of neoprene on the back side to not have the zipper rub against your skin, as well as to prevent flushing of water trying to penetrate this really durable PK zipper. Okay, go ahead and zip it. Another thing I want to show you that I think is really special about this wetsuit, and all of Bare's wetsuit for that matter, is the anatomically cut design. So we're looking at a side view of the lower leg of the wetsuit, and you can see the calf shape. It's not just a straight piece of neoprene. And this pre-bent shape actually helps us be more comfortable in the wetsuit. It's easier to get in and out of, as well as helping us not get fatigued as quickly when we're wearing a wetsuit. And so that's really awesome design. And you can see that throughout the entire wetsuit, even in the chest, how it's been contour designed in the chest, and even down in the waist, the entire wetsuit, the pre-bent arms as well. A couple other things that I really like about this wetsuit. The shoulders don't have any seams, and that really allows you to take advantage of the super stretch materials within the wetsuit. This is considered a progressive stretch wetsuit, and what that means is where you're looking at the light grays here in the wetsuit, that's really super stretch neoprene, and you need that along the side body, and you need it in the back when you're bending. So they've used a really great material. And in the shoulders also is a super stretch material, and that's because we're using our arms a lot in the water, and we could use extra stretch there. So that's really great. So that's what they call progressive stretch. Again, combining also different thicknesses of neoprene in the wetsuit too. And along this back panel here and the low back is a 5mm neoprene. Taking a look quickly on the inside of the wetsuit, you've got a glide skin collar here, and that actually helps prevent rashing as well as create a nice seal between your skin and the glide skin so that you don't have flushing coming in and out of the suit. Something that I think is really special and unique to this particular wetsuit is, just show you here, the interior design. I'm going to actually pull this out for just a second to give you an idea. I'll just do half of it. You can actually see the high-end super stretch neoprenes in this shiny gray. That was the neoprene I was showing you on the outside that was light blue. And what I really want to draw your attention to is that shape, again, the anatomically designed cut of the neoprene and pattern that creates these shapes of our body naturally. And what you'll also see here in the mid-forearm is a nice seal, a glide skin seal that they've used to actually help keep the wetsuit in place as well as prevent overflushing with water. I'm going to go ahead and reach down from the inside of the suit, and I'll show you that in certain particular cross sections of the suit there's spot taping to help keep the wetsuit stay extra durable. And in the mid-low calf, which is what we're looking at here, we're looking at another one of those gussets. So it's a great wetsuit. Again, this wetsuit comes in the 5'4", which is what we're looking at, and the 7'6", and it's a women's wetsuit. And they're both identical in construction, and we highly recommend them. They're really comfortable. They're anatomically cut for a woman's body, and there's great seals on this wetsuit, so we think it's a really great diving wetsuit and a multi-sport wetsuit for that matter. Check out Bare Velocity 5'4" and 7'6" at pleasuresports.com.